Hey guys, what's going on, dudes? It is David here. We are back with another video now. Welcome to the Falcons versus Buccaneers game review. And just to get it straight off the simple bat, what are these refs doing? Like, seriously, what are these refs doing? And also, I also wanted to say this. I love my defense. I love my defense. When it comes to coming up clutch, my defense came through. Because Tom Brady, if it wasn't for the defense coming clutch towards the end of the fourth quarter, Tom Brady would have had over 400 yards passing. Yes, the first half was not very good, but the first half is also a major part of blame on the offense and mainly specifically the quarterback. But also, back to the, I'm going all over the place, but back to the blown call. Grady Jarrett got the sack. That is a sack. I don't care what anybody says. Grady Jarrett sacked Tom Brady. It says on the stats that Tom Brady didn't get sacked. That is a sack. And that would have been big points for me in my fantasy league. And I was happy because throughout the time, I knew the Falcons were going to lose this game. I already knew the Falcons were going to lose this game. But when I saw Grady Jarrett get that sack, I was like, yes. And then I see a flag. And they call it roughing the passer. Yet Grady Jarrett doesn't even fling him hard on the ground. He just rolls him around, which is what you're supposed to do when you're sacking a quarterback. So I don't really honestly understand how that was a penalty. But hey, Buccaneers won the game 21-15. And a big reason why is just the quarterback. And I just want to say this. If it wasn't for our running game, the quarterback would have been Marcus Mariota would have been taking a lot more than this from me if it wasn't for the running game. The running game had 151 yards rushing. Leonard Fournette had 14 carries for 56 yards. So our run defense actually kind of did shut down Leonard Fournette, but we could not shut down Tom Brady, who was 35 for 52, 351 yards, 1 touchdown. But moving on into our quarterback, Marcus Mariota, 14 for 25, 147 yards, 1 touchdown, and that 1 touchdown was to Zaccheaus. And yes, you could look at the wide receivers, dropping a lot of catches, but you also got to look at how the wide receivers are. None of these wide receivers are really that much experience when it comes to starting. Zaccheaus, I think, is a third-year player, but he didn't really get that much rest the last 2 years. Drake London is a rookie, and yes, he's been our leading target this year, our leading target in total. Our leading guy is injured right now, and that's Kyle Pitts. And yes, Marcus Mariota did a very good job running with the ball. He had 7 carries, 61 yards. But Tyler Algier, 13 carries, 45 yards. Caleb Huntley, 8 carries, 34 yards. And then Avery Williams had 3 carries, 11 yards. The running game without Marcus Mariota would have been still better than the Tampa Bay running game. So I just gotta say, when it comes to that, Marcus Mariota still is not the number 1 quarterback in my opinion. I think Falcons need to start Drake London. I just really think that. And how many times am I going to have to say it? Why does this man can't secure the ball? He is very, very lucky when Antoine Winfield got the ball out of his hands that the ball fell right back to him. Because if he hadn't recovered that ball, it could have been a lot worse for the Falcons. It could have been a lot worse, and this game could have been a shutout. It was a shutout for up until the fourth quarter. It was 21-0 at the end of at the start of the fourth, and the Falcons scored 15 points thanks to Avery Williams' touchdown and thanks to Zaccheaus. Now, speaking about Leonard Fournette, when it came to the running game, we did in fact shut him down, but when it came to the passing game, or the receiving game, we didn't, because he had 10 receptions for 83 yards and a touchdown. Mike Evans, 4 receptions, 81 yards. Chris Godwin, 6 receptions, 61 yards. Cade Otton, 6 receptions, 43 yards. And Casey Hayward and AJ Terrell did come up with some big plays, but they also made a big mistake. And I also got to say this, when it comes to the AJ Terrell holding call, it was in the first 5 yards, so I think that shouldn't have been called. And then there should have been one on, I think it wasn't AJ Terrell on Scotty Miller. I think it was Casey Hayward on Scotty Miller. That should have been called as pass interference. But still, receiving game was not good. Zaccheaus, 2 receptions, 39 yards. Drake London, 4 receptions, 35 yards. Cordero Hodge had a big drop in the first half, 3 receptions, 33 yards. It's just not good from the receiving game. It's just not good play from the quarterback game. Tampa Bay had no fumbles. Tampa Bay, besides the Grady Jarrett one, Tampa Bay's quarterback Tom Brady didn't even get sacked. Defense, best defensive player on the Falcons was Jalen Hawkins, 8 tackles, 0 sacks, 0 tackles for loss. Trey Anderson did get a tackle for loss after he came back in for Michael Walker getting injured, and then Matt Dickerson also did get a tackle for loss. But I'm looking at Grady Jarrett, two tackles. It should have a sack in there. I just want to say this right there. But if you look at the other side, Antoine Winfield Jr., best defensive player for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 7 tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, a pass deflection, a quarterback hit, and he did have a forced fumble. So there's not really that much left to say about this game. I mean, 21-15, the Falcons moved 2-3. We go on to face the San Francisco 49ers next year, and I'm going to be honest with this. Marcus Mariota, the biggest problem with me when it came to this game, the Falcons were going too many short passes. They were not trying to go deep. Olamide Zaccheaus is our speed guy, so the fact that we weren't trying to go deep and trying to get Olamide Zaccheaus the ball deep, it really just bothered me. And considering next week what the 49ers did against the LA Rams this past Monday, I'm going to be very worried for this Falcon offense, and I just want to say this. The next week Sunday against the 49ers, I'm going to make an early prediction here. Next weekend against the 49ers will be Marcus Mariota's final game starting for the Atlanta Falcons this season, because after next week is Desmond Ridder's season.